I had just won the beauty pageant. I collapsed and died on stage. I heard my mother's heart-wrenching cries. When the mortician Jack lifted the white cloth from my body, his eyes froze on my face with a strange kind of awe. He stared at me, his gaze slowly falling on my lips. Then, without thinking, he kissed me. The camera shutter clicked at that exact moment. A sudden gust of wind blew the window open, startling him. He rushed to close it, but when he turned around, I suddenly sat up. Fear filled his eyes. He stepped closer, leaned down, and pressed his ear to my chest. When he heard a faint heartbeat, he realized I was still alive. He woke his father and called the police. I was rushed to the hospital and finally woke up, but the nightmare didn't end. Reporters flooded the hospital, their flashes blinding me. My mother took every interview and show offer she could get. Her smile felt like a stranger's, and through those blinding lights, a blurry image of a man kept flashing in my mind. I needed to know what really happened. So, I went back to the funeral home. When I asked Jack, he looked nervous and dodged my questions. I had no choice but to leave. At home, reporters surrounded me again. My mother forced me to attend more shows. No one cared about my fear or confusion. They only cared about the miracle of my rare birth. I broke down. I refused every interview, locked myself in my room, and cried. That suffocating feeling pushed me out of the house into the night. The cool wind touched my face. And for the first time, I knew what I really wanted. Freedom. Without realizing it, I found myself back at the funeral home. That place strangely calmed me. I walked into the workroom, lay on the cold table, and closed my eyes, trying to remember what happened that day. Then the door creaked open. Jack came in with a baseball bat. Both of us startled. I told him I just wanted to remember. But no matter how hard I tried, my mind was blank. He sighed and told me to wait until morning before leaving. When the sun came up, I couldn't go. I told him I didn't want to return to that house. Didn't want that controlled life anymore. I begged to stay, even if it was just in the barn. He refused at first, but seeing my helplessness, he gave in. That's how I stayed. For the first time, I felt free. We played golf, shared meals, and laughed together. It felt like a real family. As the sunset filled the room, our hearts grew closer. But my mother had already reported me missing. The next day, Jack showed me a missing poster. I only smiled and kept painting the wall. That's when I found a patch of barren land. Jack said nothing could grow there, but I believed I could bring it back to life. I didn't tell him what seeds I planted. I just worked the soil and waited. No one believed anything would grow, but soon, what sprouted there ended up saving Jack's life. That night, I asked him to take a walk. We crossed a suspension bridge under the stars. As we talked about our pasts, I leaned in and kissed him. Just then, 2 police cars sped by, sirens screaming. They had found Jack's father, and in that moment,